Animal husbandry is a critical part of Indian agriculture. Livestock today act as an important source of food and brings a level of stability to the farmer's revenue. The key to achieving our target of doubling farmers' income will be made possible by strengthening livestock farming along with crop farming. How then do we improve the health and well-being of cattle? How can technology help the dairy industry? Can we use scientific innovation to make the Indian farmer truly Atmanirbhar? Animal husbandry provides livelihood to almost 55% of the rural population. 70% of rural households own small animals like sheep, goats and cows. Livestock plays a huge role in pushing out economy and reducing poverty. With a livestock population of 536 million, India is the largest producer of milk and other dairy products in the world. Alongside, consumption of these products has been on the increase. Milk, which contains many important nutrients like calcium and proteins, has also played a huge role in the nation's nutritional security. However, there are many challenges faced by this sector, including productivity, yield and disease. One disease that threatens our cattle population is brucellosis. It is an infectious disease caused by bacteria called brucella. In animals, this bacteria is localized and multiplies in the reproductive organs. In males, this often results in reduced fertility. Pregnant females can suffer abortion, stillbirth or early death of the offspring when the uterus becomes infected. Brucella is highly infectious and can cause huge economic losses in the dairy farming industry. However, brucellosis in animals cannot be cured, so prevention becomes critical, which is why an effective vaccine is so important.
See, this brucellosis, it is a very serious disease and its economic loss goes as high as or more than 20,000 crores annually. And Government of India has already initiated control program. When we develop a new strain which is totally indigenous, it will be a big contribution to the Atmanirbhar Bharat.
The Indian Veterinary Research Institute or IVRI, located at Bareilly in Uttar Pradesh, has developed a new improvised version of the Brucella abortus S19 vaccine.
There is a already established vaccine, S19 vaccine. It is a very good vaccine, but it has some drawbacks like it is pathogenic. Its safety is the main issue. So, we have targeted that and thereby this new vaccine strain has become more safe than the earlier conventional vaccine strain.
A critical step before developing the vaccine is collecting and analyzing a sample from an infected animal. The sample first goes through Rose Bengal plate test or RBPT test. It is mixed with Rose Bengal colored antigen on a glass slide. The plate is then kept in carbon dioxide incubator at 37 degrees Celsius for 5 to 7 days. It is then taken to the biosafety cabinet for further multiplication of Brucellus bacteria so that it can be read properly. The sample is then taken for centrifugation, which helps in the DNA extraction. In the RT-PCR station, the DNA of the Brucella bacteria is extracted by mixing it with reagents. It then goes to the PCR machine. The PCR machine multiplies the number of DNA to million times so that it can be read properly. It then goes through a gel electrophoresis process where gel is mixed and electric current is passed. The sample is finally taken to the gel documentation system where gel is put and is subjected to UV light. The results are finally read on the computer. It is here that proper analysis of the Brucella bacteria is done to develop the vaccine. Let us now understand how a vaccine works. When germs such as bacteria or viruses invade the body, they attack and multiply inside the body. This invasion is what causes the illness. Blood contains red blood cells for carrying oxygen to tissues or organs, and white blood cells for fighting infection. Vaccines mimics infectious bacteria or viruses but do not cause infection. This helps the body to generate antibodies to fight and kill the pathogens. It trains the immune system of the body to fight when infectious pathogens attack the body. This is the process in case of brucellosis vaccine. The existing Brucella vaccine had several drawbacks. For example, it had a residual virulence to human and animals. It was not suitable for vaccination in adult animals and caused abortion when used in pregnant animals. So the scientists here worked out a way of modifying the B. abortus S19 strain. This was done by modifying the lipopolysaccharide LPS structure of the organisms. LPS is a molecule that forms a part of the wall of gram-negative bacteria. This was done using a deletion mutation. This happens when part of a DNA molecule is not copied during DNA replication. The newly developed strain was named as B. abortus S19 delta per. Vaccine potential of this has been evaluated in experimental small animal models and also in buffalo calves.
डॉक्टर चौधरी और इनके सहयोगियों ने स्ट्रेन 19 वैक्सीन
Dr. Chaudhary and his team has removed per gene from S19 vaccine strain. So it has become a new mutant which is called Brucella abortus S19 delta per.
Brucella abortus strain 19 delta per.
A team of experts from IVRI visit local villages near the center to regularly update the villagers on various diseases and take stock of the situation. The team also examines and vaccinates animals to minimize the spread of the disease. Kashiram is a farmer who lives near Bareilly. He suffered huge losses due to brucellosis.
सबसे पहले जानवरों में परेशानी आती है कि उसमें
Cattle infected with brucella virus often suffers miscarriages, and it costs a lot of money to impregnate the cattle in rural
में
areas.
काफी पैसा लगता है। देसी जानवर से कराते हैं तो वो कई सौ रुपए ले लेते हैं।
The team from IVRI helped him with the brucellosis vaccination, which helped him greatly.
जब से ये टीकाकरण सरकार ने कराया है तब से
Government has given vaccination to the cattle, and they do not require additional medication. There were no complications observed during the pregnancy as well.
होती है, फिर गर्भपात नहीं होता है उसका।
The work done in institutes like IVRI can play a very significant role in eradicating diseases like brucellosis, along with other diseases affecting the livestock population of our country.
सिर्फ ब्रुसेला नहीं, दूसरी बीमारी.
Various programs are run by IVRI for the containment of not only brucella but for all the other diseases as well. Which animal needs to be vaccinated in which area with what vaccine, whole program is properly mapped out. IVRI is working towards vaccination, control and eradication programs from the beginning.
कंट्रोल एंड इरेडिकेशन इसमें हमेशा से बहुत प्रारंभ से ही योगदान है.
The development of this variant of the brucellosis vaccine is a huge step towards helping livestock farmers in India. It will also boost the economy and push us towards self-sufficiency.
ये अपने देश का चीज हो गई और इससे युवाओं को जो स्थापित फर्म है
This is developed here in our country.
करने की
It will help the already established companies and the youth to take it and improve it further.
से ये बात
This will contribute hugely towards Atmanirbhar Bharat as we can also export it to other countries. As we know that the livestock's contribution is 25% in our agricultural sector.
पशुधन का लगभग 25% एग्रीकल्चर कृषि उत्पाद में योगदान है।
Healthy livestock is just one aspect of animal husbandry. The dairy industry in India faces a whole host of other issues as it gears up to growing demands. How can technological innovations improve this situation? Keep watching to see how a new startup is trying to improve the situation on the ground for the Indian dairy industry. India Science Channel was launched in the year 2019 by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. The internet-based dedicated science web channel is being implemented and managed by Vigyan Prasar, committed towards science communication. The channel features science documentaries, discussions on current topics, interviews and different programs covering the entire landscape of science and technology to make science popular among the masses.
India Science is a flagship project of Vigyan Prasar. And over a year and a half, we have produced more than 1,200 videos of different sizes, lengths, and from different genre and for different domains for the people of the country. We've taken, we have spoken, we've gotten, we've dived deep into the realms of different domains of science and technology, and we have gotten news, stories, films, videos, in almost every format that you can think of. OTT, for that matter, is a great platform that helps anybody to look for any news, any item, any video, any documentary at any point in time. All you need to do is to subscribe a channel for it.
One can also download India Science mobile app from Google Play Store or Apple Store to view this channel. Dairy is a huge industry in India. In the year 2020, India produced more than 190 million tons of milk. It holds a share of approximately 40% to the global milk production. India has transformed from a country of acute milk shortage to the world's leading milk producer. But the demand for milk is increasing, and unless we match that, we will be forced to import milk. According to a report, about 80 million rural households are engaged in milk production, with a high proportion comprising landless, small and marginal farmers. Many of them are dependent on milk as their only source of income. This brings the important question: are they really getting their adequate income? Stellips is a company that is trying to ensure this by taking innovative steps that could bring answers to the Indian dairy farmer. This startup is working towards the digitization
to render their services.
The idea of the Move Farm platform is to collect data at a micro level across dairy supply chains, that is, milk producing farms, collection centers and chilling centers. All this data is processed and collated on a cloud platform. Let's look at how this data is collected at farm level. Specially designed Move-on wearable devices are attached to livestock. These detect various disorders based on cattle's activities and resting behavior. This device is connected to Move On app, which is a herd management application that gives recommendations to farmers for optimizing herd performance. Due to manual capturing of data at milk collection centers, there is a lack of transparency for farmers and consumers. To counter this problem, smart AMCU devices, which are smart automatic milk collection unit devices, are deployed at collection centers. These devices enable IoT-based real-time acquisition of data that can include milk quality, nutrient content, and adulteration. And this data is directly uploaded to a cloud-based platform. This information is shared with farmers, which increases their trust and faith in the supply chain. Direct payment to the farmers, eliminating the middleman, happens through MooPay. This app also provides financial facilities and key information to the farmers. Sometimes quality of milk degrades due to inefficiency in transport of milk from collection centers to chilling centers. The smart CC system at chilling stations provides key data points for their effective management. Similarly, the contract system at cold chain centers enables real-time management of cold chains through web and mobile app portals. All this data can be accessed by various stakeholders in the system: the farmer, input providers like financial institutions and insurance companies. This information helps them improve various factors like productivity and quality. One of the major roadblocks in the process of digitizing the milk supply chain was high prices of hardware. How could a small farmer with just 2 to 3 animals afford this technology? This challenge was overcome in the Stellups organization with deep research and investment in in-house design, which overcame issues like battery life, data visualization, facial recognition technology for animals, etc., and providing services at very nominal costs.
Things like how do you make the battery work for 6 to 7 years in the animal wearable? Typical Fitbit that human beings use or pets use, you can recharge the batteries. But on an animal, when there are millions of cattle, you can't possibly recharge them. Second, we also use computer vision to uniquely identify the animals, right? How do you use facial recognition, body images to uniquely recognize the animals? All it needs is click an image and you get to know which is that correct animal.
Stellups is also focusing on reducing the trust gap between farmers and insurance companies. Using data science and processing data for over 150 parameters about livestock, they help in determining credit score for the farmers. This helps a bank or an NBFC to underwrite risks of the farmers. The white revolution, which started in the 1970s, has enabled our country to be self-sufficient in its milk needs. But as far as exports are concerned, India has a long way to go. It would need holistic approach, especially to bring unorganized farmers into the fold of the organized sector. To bring in technology into conventional agriculture methods is key for maintaining Atmanirbharta in the future.
The hardware innovations that we have done, the patents that we have filed, the secret sauce that we have implemented in the cloud, be it in terms of AI, ML, and all of them can be used, not just in Indian context, can be adapted for international rollout. So I think we have a really good thing in the making, where what has been made for India in the context of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
The other way science can change the way animal husbandry works is through genetics, which Indian institutions are working in this area to create more productive cattle. Keep watching to see how cutting-edge science can determine how to keep the best qualities in our native cattle breeds. Right after this break. India Science Channel was launched in the year 2019 by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. The internet-based dedicated science web channel is being implemented and managed by Vigyan Prasar, committed towards science communication. The channel features science documentaries, discussions on current topics, interviews, and different programs covering the entire landscape of science and technology to make science popular among the masses.
India Science is a flagship project of Vigyan Prasar, and over an year and a half we have produced more than 1,200 videos of different sizes, lengths, and are from different genre and for different domains for the people of the country. We've taken, we have spoken, we've gotten, we've dived deep into the realms of different domains of science and technology, and we have gotten news, stories, films, videos in almost every format that you can think of. OTT, for that matter, is a great platform that helps anybody to look for any news, any item, any video, any documentary at any point in time. All you need to do is to subscribe a channel for it.
One can also download India Science mobile app from Google Play Store or Apple Store to view this channel. This is why scientists at the National Institute of Animal Biotechnology in Hyderabad started working on ways of addressing this.
We have to again regain our original indigenous pure breeds, which were very, very sturdy because they were all stabilized in various agroclimatic conditions for years. And now there is mixing in the field, so we want to remove mixed animals from the purebred animals of our indigenous breed. So we need a chip. That is the science for which we need to do NGS.
Scientists here are working on deciphering the genomic sequence of Indian native breeds. Now, what does it mean to sequence a genome? DNA is the chemical name for the molecule that carries genetic instructions on all living things. It is shaped like a double helix with a ladder formation that contains nucleotides or bases. There are 4 bases, A, T, C and G. Finding the exact arrangement of nucleotide in chromosomes is called genome sequencing. Knowing these arrangements can help us understand why an animal has individual traits like looks, height, milk productivity, etc.
Earlier it used to be done with Sanger sequencing, which was difficult, and earlier they used to use isotopes, which is radioactive chemicals also. However, they improved it further, but the limitation was very less number of sequences can be done at a particular point of time. Now the tools have come, new tools have come like Illumina, PacBio or Nanopore. They can really in hours, they can give you within a day, you can have a very good sequence and at relatively much cheaper cost and relatively much less time. That's why they are called as next generation sequencing.
This kind of next generation sequencing, NGS, has revolutionized genomic research. Using NGS, an entire human genome can be sequenced within a single day. The scientists have also created an indigenous chip that can help detect both the breed and key characteristics of the cattle. This genetic tool, a tiny glass chip coated with thousands of short sequences of DNA, can detect sites in the genome that frequently differ among individuals. This information can help scientists gather genetic data on huge numbers of cattle. scientists can take a DNA sample from an animal and use the chip to detect thousands of genetic variations, thereby giving a detailed profile of that animal's genome. Then individual profiles can be analyzed with data on any animal's phenotype, which are its observable physical characteristics, to determine the variations associated with a particular characteristic, such as milk production. Now, one of the main reasons that local breeds have declined over the years is reduced productivity. So farmers have crossbred to improve their economic prospects from these animals. A clear solution is work like this, where it is possible to use genetics to select the best animals and breeds for a variety of needs, including milk production. The scientists here have developed next-generation sequencing tools and platforms to characterize various indigenous breeds at a genome level. Cattle genomics will allow us to determine various changes in the sequence of nucleotide, which may vary from breed to breed. These 4 nucleotides A, T, C and G are arranged in different ways, leading to varying characteristic in the animal. If we can work out the arrangement, this can be correlated to traits. So we can work out, for example, which animals will give a high milk yield and which a low milk yield. The work being done in institutes like this will improve the economics and sustainability of the Indian cattle industry. Making genetic chips indigenously will also reduce our dependence on imported chips.
NIV is really committed that over a long period of time, using this SNP chip, we will not only conserve the breeds, all indigenous breeds of cows of India, but we will also enhance the good traits of these cows over a period of time, so that we can become Atmanirbhar.
Ways of improving our livestock, technology that can streamline our dairy industry, all important steps to support the Indian farmer, push our economy and move forward in our journey to self-sufficiency.